All right, before I get to the Smackdown review from last night, just want to go quickly over my WrestleMania 40 predictions. And they've already set up the what matches are going to be on night one and night two. Got today for night one, first match, Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. I'm gonna go with Rhea Ripley to retain. I think she's gonna be one of the champions to retain. Gonna see a lot of title reigns end, it looks like, this weekend. Next up, we got the six-pack tag team ladder match for the undisputed tag titles. You got Judgment Day, Finn Balor, Damian Priest versus DIY, Gargano and Ciampa versus Awesome Truth, Miz and R-Truth. The New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. A-Town Down Under, Theory and Waller. And New Catch Republic, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bates. I'm gonna go with, it's a tough one. Probably go with, I'll probably go with Theory and Waller to become the new champions. And they'll knock off the Judgment Day, capture the gold. All right, next up we got Rey Mysterio. It's gonna be Andrade instead of Dragon Lee. They did an injury angle yesterday, storyline injury. Dragon Lee got injured, and then pretty obvious LWO is the one that, I mean, not LWO, LDF is the one that attacked them. So we got Mysterio and Andrade versus Santos Escobar and Dirty Dom. I'm gonna go with Santos and Dirty Dom to win this match since Rey Mysterio beat Dom last year. So let's give Dom the win back, I guess, over his dad. I'm gonna go with Santos and Dom. Got next brother versus brother, Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. I'm gonna go with Jey Uso. He's become pretty much the bigger star now since he's been in the bloodline, and Roman pretty much made him into main event Jey Uso. So I'm gonna go with Jey Uso to defeat Jim Uso in the City of Brotherly Love. All right, next up we got the six women tag team match: Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi versus Damage Control. Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. I'm gonna go with Bianca, Jade, and Naomi. It's pretty obvious they're gonna win. Not gonna have Jade Cargill lose her first match in the company. All right, next up we got the singles match for the Intercontinental title. Gunta is defending against Sami Zayn. I'm gonna go with the upset here. Think Gunther's had the belt long enough, and he's gonna lose his title. So I'm gonna go with Sami Zayn to knock off Gunther and become the new Intercontinental champion. Next up, we got the main event of night one, the Bloodline, the final boss, The Rock, and Tribal Chief Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Think the Bloodline's gonna win this one on night one, Rock and Roman, and I think The Rock's gonna pin Cody Rhodes. When the match first got announced, I thought it'd be Roman pinning Cody Rhodes, but now I think it's gonna be The Rock pinning Cody Rhodes, and everybody's gonna be thinking going to night two that since Cody took the pin night one, he's gonna get pinned again night two. So yeah, my pick's the Bloodline to win the tag match. So that means the main event with Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns on night two is gonna be held under Bloodline rules. Pretty much anybody can interfere in it. All right, night two, we got Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. This is gonna be Seth Rollins' second match for the world title. His second match overall, but this one's for the world title. I think Drew McIntyre is going to get his moment finally and win the world title from Seth Rollins. But after the match, I'm calling it. Damian Priest is going to cash in his Money in the Bank. He's tried a bunch of times, multiple times. It's a lot of failed attempts. So I think he's going to finally cash in at WrestleMania because he's running out of time. So when he's not going to cash in that Backlash, He could do it at Clash at the Castle, but I doubt it. Because when else is he gonna cash in? The year's almost up. So I think he's gonna cash in on Drew McIntyre and become the new world champion. Next up, we got the six-man tag team Philadelphia Street Fight. The Pride, Lashley, Dawkins, and Montez Ford against the Final Testament, Cross, Akam, and Razor, how do you say his name? I'm gonna go with Final Testament to win. They were teasing a heel turn between the Pride, Dawkins, and Montez Ford, so I think one of them is gonna turn heel, and that's gonna split them up. I'm gonna go with the Final Testament to win the six-man tag match or the street six-man street fight. Next up, we got LA Knight, yeah, versus AJ Styles. I'm gonna go with LA Knight to win that one. AJ Styles hasn't even been there for most of the build. LA Knight showed up at his house. They fought in the front yard. That's pretty much the only time they brawled. And then I think I saw the clip yesterday. They brawled at the. They just had a scrap at the whatever the at WrestleMania, the press conferences or some interview. AJ Styles jumped LA Knight. Everybody pulled their phones out, started recording it. Security didn't do anything, and like probably like 4 or 5 minutes went by when they were brawling. That was hilarious. All right, next up we got Io Sky versus Bailey for the women's title. I'm gonna go with pretty predictable here. Bailey's gonna win the title from Io Sky. And then night two main event, we got Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the undisputed Universal Championship. Probably Cody Rhodes is gonna win. I don't think 2 years in a row they're gonna have him lose to Roman Reigns, but I can't stand Cody Rhodes, man. I hope Roman Reigns wins, but I doubt it. I don't think it's gonna happen 2 years in a row. So my pick's gonna be Cody Rhodes to dethrone Roman Reigns and become the new Universal Champion. That's my predictions for WrestleMania 40. All right, let's get to SmackDown from last night. Show opened with Kevin Owens, the KO show. His guest is Randy Orton. KO says, "We got a common enemy, Randy, Logan Paul." And then Logan Paul, this idiot, is on like a tiny Titantron. I think they have the picture for it. Yeah, right there. Look how small that is. That's ridiculous, man. They have those big giant screens. They got that small screen now. Says he's in the arena like across the street in the Lincoln Financial Field where the Eagles play. Says you two are wasting your time. And then KO and Randy start talking. They say the stadium is across the street. And then they pretty much just bounce and go there, right there. And then you have Theory and Waller. They pop on from under the ring, so they go after them, trying to stop them or try to jump him in the arena across the street. So they come back from commercial. Kevin Owens finds a golf cart. Randy Orton's trying to get into a car. It's locked. And Randy Orton gets on the golf cart, and then you see Theory and Waller chasing after him from behind. That's pretty much it for that. Thought that was kind of funny with Theory and Waller just going after them. All right, next up we got the Honor the Giant Battle Royal, 20-man Battle Royal. Just gonna fast forward to the end of it. A lot of jobbers in there. We got Tozawa, Otis, Ibar, and Bronson Reed, the final four. Ibar eliminates Otis, and then you got the elimination here of Tozawa. Ibar just chucked Tozawa. Otis missed catching him, so looked like Tozawa might have got injured, but sounds like he's okay. I haven't seen no injury, no injury reports, so that's good. It's good that he didn't get injured. You never know, man, when you miss the catching the guy, and a lot of times they get injured, so he avoided injury. And then what was it Bronson Reed won the match by eliminating Ibar right there. So Bronson Reed wins the Honor of the Giant Battle Royal. These like every year they do this, like the whoever wins, like it never leads to anything. They just stay in the same spot. Like if they're a mid card or below mid card, they just stay in the same spot. They never get a push or anything. Kind of pointless to win the Honor of the Giant Battle Royal. And then oh yeah, so Omos, he returned. He ended up eliminating himself. I don't know where this guy's been. So hopefully we see him more, I guess. We had the MVP was there with him when he came out during his entrance. So yeah, Bronson Reed wins the Honor of the Giant Battle Royal. Then we got Logan Paul back in the arena. He's in the Smackdown arena. I think he's trying to act like he's trying to outsmart Randy Orton and KO. He says, "You guys," Logan Paul says, "You guys cheer for idiots." And then Randy Orton and KO, they pop up from under the ring. Or they were showing Logan Paul said he had cameras in the other arena across the street at the Wrestlemania arena. Theory and Waller in the other arena trying to look for Randy and KO. And then Randy and KO pop up from under the ring where Logan Paul is. KO hits a stunner. Randy hits an RKO. That's pretty much it for that. Stunner and there's RKO. All right, backstage we got a segment. Dragon Lee's got attacked. He's on the ground and stuff. LWO shows up. Rey Mysterio, Carlito guys. They're trying to figure out who did it. Pretty obvious that it was LDF. And then we got a match. Lena Vega versus Elektra Lopez. Elektra wins. After the match, we got Andrade and Dominic. They came out with Santos guys. And this was just kind of random. Andrade just whoops on, pretty much beats up Dom. So he turns on Judgment Day pretty much. Wasn't he? They were teasing he was gonna join Judgment Day because Dom kept bringing Andrade into segments with Judgment Day on Raw. So they just do a swerve here, did an angle. Andrade attacks Dom. So it's gonna be Andrade and Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania. It's kind of random. Him turning on Dom. I thought he was gonna join the Judgment Day. All right, next up we got Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne versus Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate win. Don't really care for the match. And then after the match, Judgment Day attacks Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, and Waller and Theory to end that segment. And then we got LA Knight. Yeah. There's AJ Styles, you're phenomenal. You're phenomenal and not showing up. Yeah. All you've been doing is crying about me. That's pretty much it. And he ends it with, whose game is it? LA Knight. Yeah. And we got the main event, Jey Uso versus Solo Sikoa. Solo drops Jay on the apron with the Uranagi. Jay hit a spear. And then Jimmy Uso interferes during the match. And we got Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins out there to help him fend off the bloodline. Cody hits an RKO. Rollins hit a super kick. Then Cody pulled out his American Nightmare belt that he wears around his waist. And he finally gets some sort of revenge on the bloodline. Wasn't on The Rock, who's been whooping his ass the last 2 weeks. So he hit him with the belt. And then Seth Rollins did the same thing right there. That was pretty much it. And then after they beat up Jimmy, Cody Rhodes got on the mic, pretty much saying, final boss, I'm gonna try to remove your soul and find the people's champion. And he said, on Sunday, I'm gonna dethrone the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, to end the show. So that was pretty much it for SmackDown. See ya.